This is the space race. Today we are going to talk about one of the types of spacecraft used in the space race, the lander spacecraft. Lander spacecraft are designed to reach the surface of a planet and survive long enough to telemeter data back to Earth. Examples have been the highly successful Soviet Venera landers, which survived the harsh conditions on Venus while carrying out chemical composition analyses of the rocks and relaying color images. JPL's Viking landers at Mars, and the Surveyor series of landers at Earth's moon, which carried out similar experiments. The Mars Pathfinder project, which landed on Mars on July 4, 1997, was intended to be the first in a series of landers on the surface of Mars at widely distributed locations to study the planet's atmosphere, interior, and soil. The lander, carrying its own instruments, was later named the Carl Sagan Memorial Mars Station. Pathfinder also deployed a rover, a system of actively cooled, long-lived Venus landers designed for seismology investigations is being envisioned for a possible future mission. So our prime example of the lander spacecraft category is Mars Pathfinder. Other examples of lander spacecraft include Viking Mars landers. In 1975, NASA's Viking 1 and 2 space probes successfully landed on Mars, carrying with them an unprecedented array of scientific instruments to investigate the planet's geology, atmosphere, and soil. Their primary mission was to determine if life had ever existed on Mars. Unfortunately, Viking found no evidence of life, but did make some incredible discoveries that helped scientists better understand the red planet. For example, the Viking landers confirmed the existence of carbon dioxide in the Martian atmosphere and discovered organic molecules in the soil. They also sent back stunning images of the Martian landscape, including the first close-up pictures of a Martian sunset. The Viking landers were only supposed to last 90 days on the surface of Mars, but both spacecraft far exceeded this expectation and continued to operate for years, sending back valuable data until their transmissions were lost in 1980 and 1982, respectively. Venera 13 Venus lander. In 1982, the Soviet Venera 13 spacecraft successfully landed on the surface of Venus, carrying instruments to study the planet's thick, toxic atmosphere and scorching hot surface. Despite the incredibly hostile environment, the lander managed to survive for over 2 hours and transmitted valuable data back to Earth before going silent. One of the most remarkable feats of engineering. Venera 13's sister spacecraft, Venera 14, landed on Venus just 3 days later and managed to survive for an even longer time, transmitting data for over 57 hours. Together, these landers provided scientists with an unprecedented look at the hellish world of our sister planet. The data they collected helped scientists better understand the atmospheric pressure and temperature on Venus, as well as the composition of its surface materials. Although the mission was a huge success, it was also a risky one, as the technology needed to survive the extreme conditions on Venus was untested. Nevertheless, the brave explorers pushed through and made incredible discoveries that continue to amaze scientists today. Surveyor moon landers. NASA's Surveyor program was a series of robotic space missions that landed on the moon between 1966 and 1968. There were 5 missions in the Surveyor program: Surveyor 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All 5 missions were successful in landing on the moon and returning the first close-up images of the lunar surface. The Surveyor spacecraft were designed to study the moon's surface and to test the feasibility of landing spacecraft on the lunar surface. They were also intended to demonstrate NASA's ability to soft land on the moon in preparation for the Apollo missions, which would land astronauts on the moon. The Surveyor spacecraft were equipped with a variety of scientific instruments, including cameras, X-ray spectrometers, and a scoop that could dig into the lunar surface and analyze its composition. The spacecraft were also equipped with a television camera that allowed controllers on Earth to see the lunar surface in real time. The Surveyor missions were highly successful and provided valuable information about the moon's surface and the feasibility of landing spacecraft on it. The close-up images returned by the spacecraft were particularly valuable as they provided the first detailed look at the moon's surface. The Surveyor program paved the way for the Apollo missions and helped ensure their success. Without the data and experience gained from the Surveyor program, the Apollo missions may not have been possible. Lander spacecraft are a specialized type of spacecraft that are designed to land on the surface of a planet or other celestial body and remain there for a period of time. Unlike other spacecraft, which are typically designed for orbit or interplanetary travel, landers are built specifically to withstand the rigors of atmospheric entry, surface operations, and in some cases landers are typically larger and heavier than other spacecraft, because they need to carry equipment and systems that allow them to land, deploy scientific instruments, and communicate with Earth. They usually have a robust structure and landing gear to absorb the impact of landing, and may also be equipped with systems to protect against hazards such as dust storms or extreme temperatures. The primary purpose of a lander is to conduct scientific research and exploration on the surface of a planet or other celestial body. They typically carry a variety of scientific instruments such as cameras, spectrometers, and drills to investigate the geology, atmosphere, and other aspects of the planet's environment. Some landers are also equipped with rovers or other mobile platforms to enable exploration of a larger area. Landers can also be used to deploy other spacecraft such as orbiters or probes that will study the planet from above or beyond its surface. This allows for a more comprehensive understanding of the planet's environment and can provide valuable data that would be difficult or impossible to obtain from the surface. Overall, lander spacecraft are essential for exploring planets and other celestial bodies. They provide a unique platform for conducting scientific research and exploration and have enabled us to learn more about our universe than any other type of spacecraft. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you learned something new about one of the types of spacecraft used in the space race, the lander spacecraft. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. You can also subscribe to get notified when I post new videos about the space race. And if you want to learn more about the space race, check out my other videos. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.